Hello, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to a very important CSGO news episode. I want to warn all of you guys, I'm pushing back all of the big CSGO news, any changes out there in the actual professional scene back to tomorrow. It should be a packed and full episode, but thank you guys all for watching this episode. It's going to be all about Forsaken, who has now officially responded. I hope you guys all have your cups of coffee ready because it's a crazy story and we've been waiting for this response for quite some time. He's now officially come forward with at least one website, that being AFK Gaming. I'll link his full interview down below. It's actually in text down there, as well as his response to VP Esports, as a lot of information has come out about this, so all the articles will be linked down for all of you guys as we give you the TLDR of his official response, as he now has officially come forward and actually apologized for his actions. So we're going to break down, of course, his responses and interview, as well as some information that's come out now in the past, ever since 2016, about this guy. Now, also, I want to briefly say as well, if you guys want to see a quick sum up video, now, this is the last time I'm going to talk about this. We're going to do one more video wrapping up everything, because as of right now, according to CSGO to Asia, the owner over there, Nikhil, I'm probably mispronounced that name extremely poorly. He does say that no one right now has the full truth. So once he comes out with his statement, if you guys want a full wrap-up video about this entire situation into a short video, leave a like down below or leave a comment if you guys want that. This will be the last time we talk about this for now. But anyway, getting into, of course, the background story. As of right now, it was actually reports back from 2016 with the ESIC, that's the Esports Integrity Coalition, who has caught Forsaken doing multiple things, and apparently, according to VP Esports, it was actually OpTic management who knew all about this. And we'll probably debate that in the future as to, I guess, probably later in this video, about whether OpTic management knew, whether the teammates and the coach knew, because again, a lot of this is also subjective. You guys can take from it what you want, but it was actually the ESIC who first actually found him with selling VAC banned accounts. So he actually had sold account. It was later VAC banned, allegedly, according to ESIC. And also on top of that, apparently that same account he had sold actually received a VAC ban in a separate game a month before it was sold. So that kind of gives you proof back to 2016. He had been experimenting with cheats across several platforms. One of them was outside CSGO, and of course in CSGO, because there were several players who came forward. None of these players actually revealed their names. So again, you start to question the sources, right? But I assume VP Esports, a very trusted source as well. Apparently several players came forward with them and actually said throughout 2016, it was well known that Forsaken was actually boosting accounts and then selling them. Thanks to Rivel, I probably mispronounced your name as well. I do apologize. He contacted me and actually translated these Twitter logs, these Twitter chats, which clearly show as well there was evidence all the way back to 2016 where it was actually Forsaken cheating to boost these accounts and then selling those boosted accounts to several customers out there as well who were buying these accounts. Of course, it's a very common thing here in CSGO. So thanks for those translations into English. According to him as well, the original posts were actually in Hindi, as well as some broken English, and some very, very mean words were actually used. He left those words out of those translations, but if you guys do see those chat logs, it is very clear that there was this is actually an angry customer who had bought an account. The account was then VAC banned because Forsaken had been using cheats to boost the account, had sold the account to the buyer, and then it was later on VAC banned. So you can imagine if you're trying to buy a boosted account, which I don't recommend, it's still against rules out there. So, but if you do buy a boosted account and it gets VAC banned, of course you're going to be very upset. So that does prove all the way back to until 2016, it was Forsaken not only experimenting with cheats outside of CSGO, he was also boosting accounts and cheating on those accounts and then selling them as well, breaking many CSGO rules. And that's not even the best part about this video so far. We actually have him coming out allegedly with AFK Gaming. Again, the full thing will be linked down below. We're going to actually kind of course, overview his responses to some of their great questions. A great job by them, but as well, I do quickly want to say there is not much more I expect from Forsaken about this. I really do want to touch on very briefly the response this guy has seen so far has been so extreme. And I obviously know what he did was extremely wrong. He jeopardized the future of all of his teammates on OpTic, whether they knew about his cheats or not. He pretty much has screwed them over as well for their future, which is obviously incredibly wrong. But when you look at this in a context of another team out there, let's say for instance there was another pro player on a top tier team, let's say like a Fnatic or a FaZe Clan, who was caught cheating. And then we had the timeline as to, again, it's really weird because, of course, his timeline stretches back to 2016, so you should have known about this, and they shouldn't have probably hired him or actually recruited him to OpTic India in the first place. But if you take any other team out there where they had a cheater, and there have been many teams that are currently playing that have players that have been accused in the past of cheats or have had VAC banned accounts, which kind of just drop under the radar because they're your favorite player or they're a well-known player. If this did happen on a top-tier organization, would they face the same ridicule? most likely, but it seems so extreme this time around. And again, we probably wouldn't know until that did come out about another pro player out there, but it seems that Forsaken, being pretty much the first official of a well-known organization, again, their roster was not a tier 1 roster, but it's a huge organization with OpTic. I feel bad for the guy almost to an extent, because he cheated, and he's obviously facing the punishments and, of course, the repercussions for what he did, but it seems so extreme. I mean, there's only so much we can do and expect from this guy now, right? What can we really expect besides an apology? He can't go back and change what he's done. But anyway, let's now analyze, of course, his answers to his several interview questions out there, which kind of give you some more background details about what exactly he did. So first off, his apology was the one I took. I think probably a pretty solid apology. Honestly, if I'm being serious here, I'm extremely sorry to my teammates, OpTic management, and the people who always put their trust in me over the facts. I feel guilty of stealing away the opportunities from my teammates. Each one was extremely talented, and I have jeopardized their chances of being where they deserve. And then when asked why did he do it, was it due to pressure, financial issues, or something else, he did respond, there was no pressure from anywhere. It was all me who wanted to win every game. I wanted to be perfect in every aspect of the game. I was confident in my decisions. I was confident in understanding of the game, etc., but was never confident in my aim. So to compensate that lack of confidence and aim, I had to choose the wrong path. And then he also came forward exactly how he did cheat. People were kind of skeptical how he actually did this. It was, of course, we saw the file on his computer itself. Some people thought it was actually through his mouse. He said he activated through a RAR file, and he downloaded it from a file store website. So kind of give you guys a peek's eye, an eagle's eye in as to exactly how this cheat did work or how he did do that. So that kind of clears up rumors there if he was telling the truth. It does add up to what we saw so far from the admin clip, where of course the admin walks over. He apparently opens up the cheat window, and of course apparently it was actually Forsaken trying to delete those cheats. It was actually apparently, according to Forsaken though, where once that window opened, right, once the admin came over and actually opened the window where the cheat was, he just tried to close the window because it was obviously an awkward situation. Not really a strong clarification. Even if he did try to delete the cheats, I mean, really no big difference there. And this is the big one, guys. The big question finally answered. Did you use hacks while scrimming inside the OpTic India bootcamp? How did you manage to avoid detection by your teammates that were sitting right beside you? Forsaken says yes, and as I already mentioned it, I only gave me a slight advantage in terms of accuracy, precision, and better registry of bullets, so it was not visible to people observing me outside the game. There was no such instance while my time at bootcamp, so there was no reason for them to doubt anything. And then very lastly, they asked if you could go back, what would you do differently? He said he would probably never even install Counter-Strike or delete Counter-Strike before this all could start. It's a very tough story, and especially when I'm going to leave you guys on one point here as well. According to VP Esports, it was actually YB. It's also firstly the OpTic coach. He then transitioned into their IGL as well as one of their players for that roster. He played with them, I think, since July up until the very end. And again, you guys can check those dates. But here is one thing that I find it's very odd. If you guys remember, OpTic management first clearly said the team and players had no whatsoever idea of his cheats, but it was actually YB who came forward and apparently said he had given OpTic management an ultimatum. He said, you either kick him or I do not play for you. And it was later broken up because it was actually allegedly thanks to a faulty mouse, where they kind of threw it under the rug and said, Forsaken had a faulty mouse. That was why his aims looked kind of weird throughout those clips. So it was YB, apparently according to VP Esports, who came forward and said he had suspected things that obviously contradicts what OpTic management had said in their post about the players and coaches not having any idea whatsoever of his cheats. Apparently YB gave OpTic Gaming an ultimatum. He said, kick Forsaken or I will not play for you guys, but it was thrown under the rug because of a faulty mouse idea or logic, and then he kept on playing for them either way. So going forward, it begs the question. I want you guys to comment down below what you guys think about this. Was this the right move by OpTic? I know many sites have talked about this. It probably was, given, of course, the roster. The community thought so far that the community does think the players had to know about their cheats, and if they did know about his cheats, then obviously they are partially in the wrong as well for still playing with the guy. It's a tough, obviously a one-of-a-kind situation to be in, and the fact that the team said some contradicting things and then released the entire roster, and still we yet have any full story out there. I want to remind you guys as well, one last time, CSGO 2 Asia, their management, they're kind of the runner over there of those tournaments as well. He will come forward with his full side of the story with all of the facts. So again, one last time, I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys want a full story, probably sometime next week, if Nickel does actually come out about this kind of stuff, and again, I apologize if I mispronounce his name. Once all the details are out there, if you guys want a full wrap-up video, it should be a very short video, shorter than this one, giving you guys the full details about the entire situation. Leave a like down below, or at least leave a comment what you guys think about this. All in all, it's it's been a tough conversation to have. I really do feel bad for the team. I even feel bad for Forsaken with the threats he has had to face so far, and of course he will have to live up with these, have to put up with these repercussions probably for the rest of his life. He is now out of the CSGO scene, and that is what he also said in the interview. That's the only thing he's ever known his entire life has been CSGO, and now to be the face of this embarrassment it's got to be a tough thing to deal with, and I really do feel bad for that. But I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'll see you guys all back here tomorrow. Some crazy news stories out there, and I'm gonna wrap it up all tomorrow, guys. It's gonna be a big episode for all of you. But as always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I will see you all then. Goodbye.